McDonald?
Mr. McDonald is running 5 minutes late. Chair. He's just getting out of another meeting now. I have not seen Ms. Ramadwa log on. I've seen Mr. Bilankulu log in earlier, but we need to confirm that he still has connection. Ms. Kumalo is definitely in the meeting. Mr. Mangu is here, and yourself.
And myself. And McDonald will be here 5 minutes later. And Bilankulu must just check Bilankulu. Honorable Bilankulu from all the way. Honorable Manu, are you able to check Ramadwa? Ramadwa?
I will do that, Chair. I'll do that.
Please. Honorable Bilankulu. See these people. They make my work very difficult on a Friday. Bilankulu. Valerie? Valerie?
Chair, I'm sorry, people are calling me crazily here, and yeah, and I haven't heard his voice, Chair. So if the
can you give me his number?
I will send it to you now, Chair. Just a reminder that I'm using my phone for Wi-Fi. We have load shedding, so I'm moving around. So I will ask Priscilla to try and get hold of him.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And
could I also, I'm not getting through to Mayor Ramadwa, Chair, but if Priscilla could, while she's trying others, just try them also, please. But I've sent a message.
Where is Ubabuketa Mabalu's toll?
Chair, is a question directed to me or to Miss Hendricks, Miss Carlos?
I was just asking.
I'm even changing the name now to Hendricks. I ask his.
I was just checking from the point of those who have proximity to him. I'm not specific on this one. Aha. Hey, Ndadamakose.
Hello, chairperson.
Hauna time.
Yeah.
You wanna try overall or more demo?
No, overall from to Lucas and that. Now I'm a layman.
No, you're a teacher by profession, you're not a layman.
I was the teacher.
Yeah. Thanks, Ndadamakose. Hanya fela mtseri confirm presence ya batho. Mhlankana tshepahetseng ndade dithabe mono umrena. So we running short of how many now? Valerie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If McDonald comes.
Still only 5 members, and I Chair, our Parliament legal advisors are working from the office. They seem to have a problem with getting connected. It keeps on timing out. I've advised them to move around because it's obviously not the link that's the problem. It might be the connection. Mrs. Maslati cannot get hold of Ms. Ramadwa, but can we ask the ANC whip to please follow up with that, Chair?
Okay, Molly,
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Okay, let me quickly check.
And Chair, just another issue, Mr. May called me just now. He's traveling this morning as well.
Mhm.
And he said he was going to check into the meeting, but he's got no connection. Mr. Mabena joined the meeting, so there are 6 members present, but let's also see if we can get Mr. McDonald online so that there are 7 members, just in case a member loses connection in the course of the meeting.
Okay, let's do. I will quickly do that, Valerie. McDonald is joining, so we good to go, Valerie. Am I correct?
Yes, Chair, you are.
100%.
I'm just trying now to see how we can get our Parliament legal advisors online so that they can also join the meeting.
Are they in Parliament?
Yeah, they're working from the office, and it seems like the connection in the precinct it's not so good.
And yeah.
It seems like they have found a spot now, Chair, where they can, they're in now. They found a spot with access. They're using their phones. That's why, Chair, they are in now.
Yeah, I can see Pumelele is here.
Chair, I don't see Mr. McDonald online.
Okay, should we wait for him just to connect?
Yeah, yes, Chair, just maybe.
Okay, McDonald is holding everybody.
Mr. McDonald has joined us now. Yeah.
Yeah, McDonald, you are holding everybody at ransom, but it's okay. Colleagues, officials from the Portfolio Committee on Transport, officials from the Department of Transport, and that they make it Sikudo Kukulan to Medisa Mrena, Dumela and Tobela.
Dumela Chairperson le kae?
Re teng le di officials tsa hao kaofela. Do we have any apology from you, that is Sikudo? Officials?
Chairperson, I think from the minister's office, I'm not quite sure as to whether what's going on there. I can't be representing the minister from that side. I was not informed. But from the official's point of view, the team that's supposed to be here is here. I can hear that Valerie wants to say something, Chairperson. Maybe
yes, Chair.
maybe she may not want to.
Can I please share the apologies?
Yes,
the minister is not available. He's attending an Mbizo and a meeting in Mangaung about the IPTNs. The acting DG is out of the country on official business, and he has asked Mr. Shlabisa to lead the delegation today. That is from the apologies from the department.
Is Mr. Shlabisa here?
Chair,
Yes, Tandy.
Chair, good morning, Chair. No, I wanted to correct that Mr. Thabisa is not part of the meeting. The DDG, Riranzo is the one that is leading the delegation here today.
The written apology says what, Valerie?
The written apology, Chair, said Mr. Shlabisa is leading the delegation. That is what I've heard from Ms. Michelle Pena this morning, just after 7 in writing. So that is the message that I have, Chair.
Is what you are telling the committee in writing, Tandy?
Chair, because where I am in Mangaung, I'm with Mr. Thabisa. He's not connected. He told me that the DDG Riranzo is the one that will lead the delegation because he's accompanying the minister here in this meeting for forensic auditors for IPTN. Thanks.
I'm just saying the record is saying something else. We hear you.
Yes, so I'm correcting the records, but I will then interface with the office of the DG. I will then confirm at the later stage to Valerie. Thanks.
Well, Tandy, thank you. Thank you, Tandy. Okay, thank you, Valerie. With from our side, we have an apology from Honorable Hunsinger. I got that apology from him. He has
Then there
something.
was Mr. Sitlolo, who indicated already on Tuesday about his unavailability because he is traveling, Chair. Then it is Ms. Noluchungu that sent through an apology this morning, and Mr. May that that he was going to attend the meeting, but he can't now due to connection problems. He's traveling. And Mr. Mabena indicated he'll be leaving earlier today. So those were also that was indicated on Tuesday already, Chair.
There we are. Valerie, a colleague. I know this is a special meeting called to deal with what we should have dealt with on Tuesday. The two bills, that is the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill and the ERT bill, that is Economic Regulation of Transport Bill, Bill number 1 of 2020. I implore you that we should start with the ERT bill because it's the one that is a bit longer. And on Tuesday, we had agreed that we'll receive a clean document, and after receiving a clean document, we'll then approve or say what we want to say on the issues that we dealt with on Tuesday. I think let's start there and hear if members are happy with the document that is in front of them, and if they are happy, they are willing to then move and adopt the content of that document. Let me see hands. Babu Ulisa Umangu.
Thank you, Chair. Just for clarity's sake, we received documents of both bills, and we received notes, comments from Advocate Mel. Is that what Chair is asking? If that is what Chair is asking, yes, I confirm I received them, and I am comfortable with them to continue with them. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chambers. My question is, on Tuesday, we said we will wait for the document to be cleaned with what was presented. And if we are happy with the content and the document, we will adopt that document so that we can move to the next step, which is clause by clause. Am I hearing you if saying you're happy, you are adopting? Is that what you are saying, say?
Chair, I was wanting to confirm that the document that you are referring to is the one that, so that I don't agree to adopt something if it is something different. But so that I don't deepen the crisis, yes, Chair, I adopt, we can move on.
Thank you very much. Honorable Makosini, sir.
Chair, procedurally, one person cannot adopt. Therefore, I rather stand by second what he has alluded to. Thank you very much.
One person was moving for adoption. The seconder is here. Any other view? Thank you, Honorable Makosini. There is no any other view, therefore we continue. And I think that is sufficient for record purposes. We will then move to clause by clause on this document, Economic Regulation of Transport Bill. As you downgrade your hand, Honorable Makosini, lower your hand, please. Okay. Clause by clause, can you enlarge your font, advocate? Okay. I know I should be reading this, but your font is too small. I can see that on the other side. All right. Just a moment. There you are.
Chair, if I can assist, when you are going to do the clause by clause, then you can follow the guide, because we have to cover all the clauses. The clauses on the A list are only those that are amended. But when we do the clause by clause, we also refer to those clauses that are not amended as introduced. So for the purpose of this session, Chair, then you can refer to the guide that I've given you, starting from the long title. Advocate now will only point out those clauses that has been amended as members work through it.
Okay, clause, okay, there you go. I can see today I'm here. That's where I start, eh?
Yes, Chair, this one that I'm highlighting, this is the long title. This is the bill as introduced. And then when we get to your next one, which is clause 1, will be on this side. So this is the list of amendments. And this one is the bill as introduced, Chair.
Yeah, the bill as introduced was to consolidate the economic regulation of transport within a single framework and policy, to establish this transport economic regulator also to establish the Transport Economic Council and to make consequential amendments to various other acts and to provide for related incidental matters. That is the long title, right? Then we going clause 1. That is on page 6. Are we there? The definition. In this act, unless the context indicates otherwise, then we have access in bold. That means it has been amended. Am I correct, Advocate?
Yes, Chair. So Chair can read through the amendments here in the clause, and then I will just highlight where they come up in the bill, so that
Okay.
members can agree to the clause 1 as amended.
On page 6 from line 11 to 12, after facility to omit of an infrastructure or resource owner, right?
Agreed,
Member,
Chair.
agreed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. On page 6 in line 37, before means to insert in respect of this act. Let's hear members.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed. On page 7 in line 7, after place to insert or platform. Members.
I'm looking for the highlight, Chair, on the right side.
I see
So
the
there's a
highlight
place
where.
Yes, Chair. Agreed.
And then number 4, on page 7, after line 13, to insert the following definitions.
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. Page 5, on page 7, that's number 5, after line 17, to insert the following definitions. It starts with PAIA.
Can advocate just remove that thing disturbing on her screen there and just highlight, please? We are not on the, she's showing organ of state, you are on PAIA. I don't know if I'm missing something there.
No, Chair, this is going to be the line 17. So it's going to be right after this one that we're inserting. So it's between organ and passenger rail that we're inserting PAIA.
Oh, okay. Agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. Number 6 is on page 7, after line 21, to insert the following definitions.
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you. Number 7. On page 7, after line 22, to insert the following definitions, starts with precedents.
Agreed, Chair.
On page 7, in line 27, after A, in brackets, to insert which is.
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. Number 9, on page 7, after line 61, after, in brackets, transport, to insert and infrastructure.
It's agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. Let's move to clause 2.
Chair, so can we then put for the record that the members agree to clause 1 as amended?
Agreed, Chair. Agreed.
That will need a mover and a seconder. I think so.
No, it's not necessary for this, Chair. We just need to know that members agree. Once you are done, then when you get to the part when you present the introduced bill as amended, then we can do that.
Okay. Anybody who does not agree? Thank you very much. We can now move to clause 2. Clause 2.
May I just ask something quickly, Chair? While you are moving, it doesn't take you back, but there was a note that was sent by advocate which had some footnotes, which were very useful. I'm not sure if we are going to go through it or we would have read it and use it in our comments.
Advocate.
Chair, thank you. Chair, those notes were sent before the Tuesday meeting, and State Law Advisor's Office did indicate that they worked through those notes of mine and they have incorporated it into the A list where the concerns were. So those issues had been dealt with. It's just when members get to the schedule where there was that change for an application to the minister having been changed to the regulator, that members can just consider that amendment there in the schedule, Chair. The other ones up to the schedule have been addressed.
Thank you, Chair. I'm clarified. Sorry for that.
Thank you very much for that, Honorable Manu. We are now in clause 2. Number 1, on page 8, in line 12, to omit 1999.
Agreed, Chair.
Number 2, on page 8, in line 13, to omit the same 1999.
Agreed, Chair.
Number 3, on page 8, after line 16, to insert the following subsection. Starts with 5 in the bracket, to access, protection, processing, and dissemination of information, including personal and confidential information, must be done in a manner consistent with and in accordance with POPIA and PAIA.
Agreed, Chair. Agreed, Chair.
Agreed, Chair.
Then we are agreeing with clause 2 as I hear members. Anyone who have a different view? Thank you. We are now on clause 4.
Chair, no, because we are doing the clause by clause and we also refer to the introduced bill. We are now at clause 3. That was as introduced.
I see clause 4 on the screen. It means somebody's failing me.
No, Chair, we're not failing you. And if we were Parliament, the members would have had the bill as introduced and this in front. So we're now referring to the introduced bill to indicate that clause 3 was not amended and it has to be confirmed for the record.
Okay, we just confirm for the record. So I must read it, clause 3. The purpose of the act. 3, subsection 1, the purpose of this act are to A, promote the development of a competitive, efficient, and viable South African transport industry, contributing to economic growth and development. B, to promote the development of an integrated system of economic regulation of transport of passenger and goods by air or through airports or ports and by road or rail. Promote efficiency, reliability, safety, and performance in the management and operation of transport facilities and services in accordance with the recognized international standards and local requirements. D, establish appropriate instrumental arrangements and procedure to support the consistent economic regulation of transport facilities and services. E, enhance transparency in the management of transport facilities and services. F, promote appropriate investment in transport facilities and services. And G, to develop complaints and dispute resolution mechanisms. Number 2, the purpose of this act are in the, what's that? What's this word? Are to be pursued in a manner that promote the development of small and medium enterprise and the achievement of quality through measures designed to advance persons or categories of persons historically disadvantaged by unfair discrimination at the operation of and access to transport facilities and services. This is as introduced, no amendments. Members?
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. I move now to clause 4. On page 9, after line 40, to insert the following subsections 11, the minister may, in consultation with the regulator from time to time, by notice in the Gazette, declare that any other regulation in no particular order are consolidated into the regulator, including the following regulators, but not limited to Cross-Border Road Transport Agency, National Public Transport Regulator, Air Service Licenses Council, International Air Services Council, and any other regulator. And if the minister has determined that one or more of regulator referred to in paragraph A must be incorporated, the departments must produce a report from conducting a review of their performance and capabilities, including the initiation of the legislative reform required to facilitate the incorporation of this regulation within 3 years from the effective date and from time to time thereafter. 12, before the minister may consider making a determination contemplated in subsection 11, the department in the prescribed manner and form, must publish the relevant report contemplated in subsection 11, subsection B in the Gazette within the prescribed period. B, must publish in the Gazette a notice that such a determination is being considered and invite public submission in response to the notice, and may conduct public hearings on the matter in appropriate circumstances. That was C. Members?
Chair,
Yes.
on that first sentence, if that could go up, please, where it starts by the minister may. There's something that doesn't read well there. It doesn't seem too much, but just it's in my mind and it was in my notes. And my view is, it says the minister may, in consultation with the regulator, from time to time by notice in the Gazette, declare that any other regulators in no particular order are consolidated into the regulator. It is my view that that says declare that any other regulators. It should say any other regulator in no particular order. That is just a very cosmetic, but I'm not sure if colleagues agree with me. And it's not major, but it seems to me doesn't just flow quite well. Thank you, Chair. That was my input there.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Let's hear you. Are you in agreement with that proposal by Honorable Mangu? Honorable MacDonald? McD? McD? Honorable Shabangu? Honorable Figile? Valerie?
Chair, for the purpose of the clause by clause, it is not necessary to read every line of the clauses. There's quite a number of pages, so it will probably take the committee half of the day. So if it may assist, unless members feel that every line has to be read, normally the chair would just read clause 4 and ask the members whether they agree to the clause 4 as amended, and if members agree, clause 5 as introduced, ask the members to agree. Yeah, I just want to remind Chair about that, as we've done with the previous bills.
Thank you very much, Valerie. I was enjoying reading, but it's okay. Let's hear, members. Is there any agreement with what Honorable Mangu has raised?
Well, I'm in agreement, Chairperson. Sorry, my hand was up and then I got disconnected. I'm in agreement. Apologies, Chairperson.
Thank you. Any other view? None. Thank you. Can we move?
Chair, just for the record, are members agreeing to that clause as it was amended? Clause 4?
Honorable MacDonald was actually saying that. Honorable MacDonald, can you repeat?
Yes, I was agreeing to that amendment to clause 4, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
You want a seconder for that, Valerie?
No, Chair. I just need to hear that members are actually agreeing to it.
Yeah, Honorable MacDonald had agreed. Are we now on chapter 2?
Chair, you are now at clause 5 as introduced.
Yeah. Honorable members, clause 5, clause 5 as introduced is, there are no changes here. It is as introduced. Are we in agreement?
We are in agreement, Chair.
Thank you very much. Let's then move to clause 6 as introduced.
In agreement, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Chair, clause 6 was amended.
Oh, haha. Hey, this lawyer in me.
Chairperson,
Clause-
agreed as amended.
Clause 6 as amended is agreed to, right? Now we move into clause.
To insert reasonable.
Yes. Clause 7, where is clause 7?
Chair, you can just present
Goes to
7
10.
to 9.
7 to 9, yeah, because that is clause 10. 7 to 9 as introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. And then we go to clause 10 as amended on page 11 from line 22, omit section 10 and to substitute the following. Members?
Chair, if I may, again, it's just a discipline of English. Clause 10 or subsection 10 or 10 says an entity that has been granted access approval in terms of section 9(1) or 2 may cede or transfer any of access rights to the third party. And although is it possible, I don't know how quick it would be, that we cross-reference that section 9(1) or 2 just as a refresher? Okay, it says the regulator must grant access approval if all requirements set on section of the regulator may grant access approval, even if the requirements, an entity that has been granted. Okay, it clarifies me, Chair. I'm fine. Clause 10, agreed, Chair. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Clause 11 as amended, members.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed. And then where are we now?
We are there now from at clauses 12 to 15 as introduced.
Clause 12. Clause 12 to 15 as introduced, members.
Agreed, Chair.
Clause 16 as amended, members.
Agreed, Chair.
And then clause 17 to 29 as introduced.
Chair, as introduced.
Agreed. Thank you. Clause 30 as amended, members.
Oh, within a minute. Yes, Chair, agreed.
Clause 31 to 37 as introduced, members.
Chair, as introduced.
Stem sum.
Stem sum. Agreed. Clause 38 as amended, members.
Agreed to, sir.
Clause 39 to 41 as introduced, members.
Agreed, Chair.
Introduced, Chair.
Clause 42 as amended, members.
Agreed, Chair.
Clause 43 to 46 as introduced, members.
Agreed to, Chair.
Clause 47 as amended, members.
I just a second, Chair. I had some comment here. If I may go to my notes, it will be half a minute. There was something here that sounded like the procedure was not flowing nicely. Under bullet 3, that in session after line 25, the minister must forward the nominations received to the relevant council will compile the minister after consultation with the relevant who must appoint. Okay, Chair. No, it's fine. I might have been reading an old one. It is agreed to, Chair. It is agreed to. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. That was 47. Then 47, 48 to 49 as introduced, members.
Agreed as introduced.
Thank you. Clause 50 as amended, members.
Agreed to, Chair.
Agreed to.
Who's that?
Agreed to, Chairperson.
Aha. Aha. There we are. Clause 51 and 52 as introduced, members.
Yes, Chair. Agreed.
Clause 53 as amended.
Yes, Chair. Agreed. Agreed.
Clause 53 as amended.
Yes, Chair. Agreed. Same as
54.
yeah.
Clause 54 is amended.
Agreed, Chair.
Clause 55 as introduced.
Agreed to, Chair.
Agreed, Chairperson.
And then clause 56 as amended, members.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed. Okay, let me give you time.
Yes, agreed.
All right. Clause 57 to 63 as introduced, members.
Agreed as
Agreed,
introduced.
Chair.
Clause 64 as amended.
Agreed, Chair.
And then where are we now? Clause 67 as introduced. I don't, can you leave?
Chair, did you just finish clause 64 as amended?
So clause 65
to 71 as introduced.
You must uplift the left-hand side. I don't see where I should stop. That is why I'm, you say it's 65 to 70.
To 71.
To 71 as introduced.
No, yes, Chair.
Yeah, here is
Agreed
it.
to, Chair. As introduced.
Agreed. And then this is what I wanted to move in.
Chair will now move to schedule 1, thereafter schedule 2.
Okay. So schedule 1 is introduced, am I correct?
No, Chair, as
There are some
yes,
amendments there on
amended.
regulator. Yeah, schedule 1, consequential amendments, members.
Chair, it's agreed to.
Agreed to. Right. And
We'll
then
see
we,
here, point 21 was that one that was in my notes, but the department did give their reason for requesting the committee to change. That is page 38. Line 14 to 20. So Chair would have seen here the bill, it said minister. The department had indicated why they would have requested the change to the regulator. That was in my notes that Mr. Manku raised earlier, Chair.
that is what Mr. Sikudo explained on Tuesday. Am I correct, Advocate?
Yes, Chair.
Members, are we happy?
No, let's just read it, Chair. Tuesday is very far from some of us.
Okay.
Let's read what it said. Advocate, everything is moving here now. Okay, there we go. If I may, Chair, through you, if the company has indicated in a business plan contemplated in section 7 and all those things, submit a copy thereof to the minister. That is what it was said. Now, the department is saying that submit a copy of the notice to the regulator. What notice are we talking about here, Advocate, through you, Chair?
Advocate?
Selling of an aerodrome or closing, is that correct?
Yes, Chair, the members had in the deliberations agreed to the clause. So the selling of the aerodrome, closing or selling of the aerodrome was in there. But the only change that was there from the agreements to the amendments in May versus what was presented on Tuesday was the difference here between the copy being sent to the minister versus the copy going to the regulator. So it's a copy of that business plan, Chair, that has to go, and the department indicated their reasonings for this. They've also said that they've aligned because there were amendments to the Airports Company Act that the committee also processed that only came into effect after the ERT bill was sent to members. So the department indicated that is why they were proposing the change here from the copy going from the minister to the regulator, because the regulator will be running for all intents and purposes these notices of changes.
Chairperson, I'm happy with that change to the regulator because for all intents and purposes, all these type of decisions are going to go to the economic regulator. So I'm comfortable with that, Chairperson. So I move that that's fine, Chairperson.
Are we in agreement, members? Any other thing? Agreed?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's okay, Chair. Yeah.
Okay.
Chair, I think just to allay members' concern, they will see here the minister still gets a copy, but at the same time, one also goes to the regulator. It used to be the shareholding minister, and it's a bit of a problem if you send it to your shareholding minister, but you also send it to the minister. So that's it is going to the minister and the regulator. It's just why they included the change here. It's not we're used to seeing shareholders committee here instead of shareholding minister. That's why it may have slipped our eyes in that first meeting in May, Chair.
Okay.
All right, Chair. Yes, that's fine, Chair. That gives me comfort. Yeah, I'm okay, Chair. Thank you.
If you are okay, we are okay.
Yes, we agree to Chairperson.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Boramatwa. We now on schedule 2, schedule 2.
So Chair, just for the procedure, if we can just get members' approval or any unhappiness about Schedule 1.
Oh, okay. I thought members had said they are happy. Let me give you a repeat
Very happy, Chairperson.
for the record. Happy, Ramatwa.
I am happy about Schedule 1. Thank you.
Okay. Happiness. Let's go to Schedule 2. On page 41, from line 55 to 56. Are we there? Members?
The word accept any says yes, Chair. We are fine.
Thank you very much.
That is Schedule 2 as amended, Schedule 1 as amended. That is all the amendments that members proposed. Chair, so that is, we are at the end here of the A list, Chair.
Now we'll go to
Chair, now you will present the introduced bill as amended for members to agree.
to adopt. We will need a seconder, a mover and a seconder here. And this we call a B bill. Am I correct?
First, Chair, the committee needs to agree to the introduced bill as amended.
Okay.
Thereafter, you can present the B bill.
Right, members?
Chairperson agreed to as amended.
That is a mover. Let's get a seconder.
I do second, Chair.
It's 10 hours.
Any other different view? None.
I move it, sir.
Aha. Babu Keta Mabala, thank you very much for presenting yourself, sir. Thank you. We now have a mover and a seconder. And then we should now, we're moving for
the B version of the bill, Chair.
The B version of the bill, and it's going to also, that is actually, there we are.
Yeah. Now, Chair, this bill is the bill, it's the introduced bill, plus the amendments that are now inserted in it, Chair, so that members can be aware of that.
Okay.
Chair, I'm sorry, I missed Ms. Carol said there, she broke a little bit. Sorry about that.
The B version is the introduced bill that includes now all the amendments that was on the A list.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
So all of those amendments are now inserted into the introduced bill that resulted now into the B version of the bill. Members will see on the cover of the bill, it will read B1B 2020.
B1B 2020. Okay, members.
Yes, Chair.
We will need to have a mover and a seconder for a B bill. That is a consolidation of the work that we have been doing now.
Chair, I move for the adoption of the B bill. Just that the number is not in my head now to read it in full.
Chairperson, I'm seconding the adoption of the B bill.
I see the hand of Honorable Figile, and then I'll come to you, Honorable McDonald. Ntongwa?
No, I just raised my hand, said second, but it is done by the other colleague, but I do second. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The B bill has been seconded. And any other different view? None. Right. We now move to the report. Valerie, am I correct?
Yes, Chair. For the record, Chair, the members would have received the report that shows the background. For the purpose of this meeting, Chair, we need you to read the decision on the bill for the record. And again, to ask whether members agree, and there needs to be a mover and second as well. Just a reminder, members, as I've indicated, this report does not show any objections yet or views of minority views. So if there are, Chair, we slot it in just before report to be considered, and it will be read into the record.
The committee decision on the bill is that the Portfolio Committee on Transport, having considered the subject of the economic regulation of transport bill number 1 of 2020, National Assembly, section 76, as this bill is referred to it and classified by the GTM as a section 76 bill, reports the bill with amendments. That is B1A 2020. Members, can we get a mover and a seconder for the report?
Chair, Lisa Mangu moves for the adoption. Can we of the report?
I second it, Chair.
Committee.
Any objections if they are there? Any objections going once, twice, thrice? There are no objections as I can see. And that brings us to the end of this tedious exercise. Am I correct, Valerie?
Chair, that is correct. The committee has now finalized the bill.
The committee has now finalized the bill. Thank you very much, members, for your hard work. This bill has been with us for some time. I hear some hands behind the scene. That is correct. I think we have done very well up to so far. Can we then move back and do the same with the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill. The document has been cleaned up, is now ready with us here. And the members did say they will accept the document once it is cleaned up on Friday. Let's get that process done. Are we accepting the document, members, so that we can move to clause by clause?
Yes, Chair, we may move to clause by clause.
The document is accepted. Any other view, members? There is no any other view. Or Valerie?
Chair, I've asked my manager also to be in the meeting. There was one correction made to two corrections made to the last set of proofs. Unfortunately, and this is to no fault of the printer, they have a problem with the internet, so they could not give that to us on time. So, but the Parliament legal advisor is here, as well as the state law advisor that works on this bill. So Parliament legal advisor is confident to continue. So if members are fine with that, so that the bill can continue with the change being read into the record. Chair, we need to hear what your view and the members' views are on it, but members have the A list that was circulated yesterday. And the B bill has been sent to the members, the one that does not have that very last correction that needed to be made.
Is it only one correction, Valerie?
It is to page 14 and 25, if my memory serves correct, Chair, of the B version of the bill, not the A version.
Okay. We'll read that into record as we arrive at it. Members, can we deal with this issue that way?
Chair, that's okay. That's okay, Chair. One would have wanted to know what it covers, but if you say we'll get to it when we get there, I support your approach, Chair. We may carry on.
Thank you very much. Thank you for understanding, members. Valerie, we are here clause by clause. Pumelele is smiling that we are agreeing. Let's go.
You should have smiled before we agreed, Chair. We're going to change our mind.
I'm wondering how can Chairperson see a smile in a picture?
Yeah, the picture is smiling. I can see that. Yeah. Yes, we are on clause 1. We don't have the, okay, that's where we're starting. Clause 1, members, as amended.
Agreed to, Chair.
Thank you. Agreed to. And clause 2, members, as amended.
Agreed to, Chair.
Agreed to, Chairperson.
Right, thank you. Clause 3 as amended, members.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed.
See, if you have more meetings on Friday, Chair, you make progress, just as a side note for you.
Clause 4 as amended, members.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed to, Chairperson.
And
I'm going to behave going forward, Chair.
Clause 5 as amended.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed to, Chairperson.
Thank you. And then clause 6 as introduced. Members.
Clause, sorry, Chair. Where is
Clause
the
6
introduced one?
as introduced.
The introduced is falling behind, Chair. I just want to see it, sorry.
Here.
Yes, Chair. As
Thank
introduced, agreed.
Thank you. Clause 7 is amended.
Agree to, Chair.
Agree to.
Clause 8 is amended.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed. And then clause 9 is introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed,
Clause-
Chairperson.
Thank you. Clause 10 is amended.
Agreed to, Chairperson.
And then clause 11 to clause 13 is introduced. Members.
Agree to, Chair.
Just a bit. I would like to see clause 11. Clause 11, not section. All right. Yes, Chair. Agreed. No problem. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. Then clause 14 is amended.
Clause
Agreed, Chair.
rejected.
Clause rejected. Clause 14.
And
Yes,
then
rejected.
we have a new clause under 14. That the following be a new clause. Repeal of section 8 of Act 93 of 1996. Members?
Chair, if I may, these refreshers are always very good. Just a reminder of that clause that was rejected. We are moving a bit fast. Even my notes, I can't catch up. Just a reminder, if we could, Chair. So
If I
that
may, Chairperson.
Pumelela.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Greetings again to the members, and I apologize for all the hiccups. This one, Chairperson, members would remember that there were changes that were brought in respect of Section 8 and the new insertion. But in order to clean it up, we thought it's safer and much better to just repeal Section 8, as the new 8A is bringing the same thing that the introduced bill was bringing. Hence, the new clause is saying Section 8 altogether in the Principal Act must just be repealed, and whatever was still left in Section 8 as it exists, it will be covered in the 8A that is also being amended, Chairperson. Thank you, Chair.
That's the refresher. Members?
Yeah, yes, Chair. She complicated it a bit, but yes, Chair, I'm refreshed. Thank you.
Thank you. Clause 15 is amended.
Can we go up a bit? Thank you. Thank you.
So just for the record, Chair, members agree to the new clause?
Just for the record, Honorable Manu agrees. Any other different view?
No, we all agree, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Clause 15 is amended, honorable members.
Chair, clause 19.
Clause 15, 1-5.
Yes, Chair, if the issue I'm a bit stammering here is that I'm reading the act and I'd made my notes on which I think it's on the right. So clauses and page, I was looking for page 14. So I see we are not there yet. So Chair, as amended, clause 15 agreed to.
Clause 16 as introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed to, Chairperson.
Clause 17 is amended.
Agreed to, Chair.
Clause 18 as amended.
Agreed to, Chairperson.
And we have clause 19 rejected. And then
Chairperson,
clause, yes, Mayor Phumelele.
if I may, Chairperson, clause 19, the new one in the bill now is the one that we need to speak to, as you indicated in your introductory remarks. And the members said they will be waiting to hear when we get there as to what exactly is not sorted there. Clause 19 is the amendment of section 15 of the Principal Act. And what is not corrected there, remaining the same, members would recall that initially in the Principal Act, the title of that section was reading as follows: disqualification from obtaining or holding learners or driving license. Now, this is the only thing that is not corrected in the bill that is before the members. And what needs to be corrected, Chairperson, is just that after holding learners, we add license, and then it will be holding learners license. And then this or, which is coming just before driving license, must be put in bold square brackets, because it must come out, and then in its place, there must be a comma. Then it will read as holding learner's license, comma, driving license. And the title must further add the driving permit, because section 15 must be read together with section 23 and section 32 that was related to the permit issue that we elaborated on, and the issue of both permits within the country and international driving permits. So that is why the title had to extend to driving permits as well. But the correction to effect all three is the one that is not done correctly, because what they have done, they've only added the learner's license, and without saying it's the learner's license, the driving license, as well as the driving permits. And this correction would also require the same thing under the arrangement of sections, the last clause, Chairperson. But that is basically all that was missed out in the CREDA process and the corrections, just to make sure that all three of these, the learner's license, the driving license, and the driving permit, are included into the disqualification clause under section 15, Chairperson. That is the explanation and what was not done correctly, Chair. Thank you, Chairperson. I hope I didn't confuse.
Now, that is clause 19, the new clause 19, that is read
Yes, Chair.
on record.
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Honorable members?
Yes, no, she didn't, but she deepened the crisis a bit. Is it possible, Advocate, to see the Principal Act, section 15 on the screen, or will it take too much? So that one is able, through you, Chair, to internalize what Mayor Phumelele has said. I know she's not used to be, I know she's not used to being in a committee on Friday, we understand.
I'm just pulling it up quickly, Chair.
Thank you, Advocate, for understanding.
And if Chair, then through you, Mayor Phumelele could just go a little bit slower once we have that Principal Act there on those amendments that are not in front of us. Once it's up, please, Chair, through you. I remember this was a very contentious issue, but I think let's rather clean it properly so that we don't go backwards, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Chairperson.
Uyangena ke le ndoda seledi Smith manje sengakusaphakamisanga isandla kuyafiwa. Honorable Mthetha Mabala.
Chair,
Yeah.
actually, I'm very sorry because I'm driving, so now I'm trying to check because I was trying to find out about section 19, clause 19.
Clause 19.
So I don't know if you have passed that one because
No,
I'm
let me
driving,
help
Chair.
you. Let me help you, Mondise. We are on clause 19. There is an explanation given to us because at least you can hear us. Mephumelele is going to give us an explanation on the new clause because clause 19 was rejected, and we have agreed just before you joined us that the new clause 19 will be read into record, and we are doing that. So you'll have your views after Mephumelele has explained this, Mondise.
Okay.
If you can just listen, then we'll allow you to air your views. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mephumelele.
Chairperson, thank you so much. I will try to be as slow as possible. In the introduced bill, clause 19 was on page 13, and it was amending section 13 of the Principal Act. Section 13's title is License to Drive, either learner's or driving license. The original section 13 that the executive brought in order to amend, it's the one that was bringing about a provisional driving license, where in between the learner's license and the actual driving license, we are going to have a provisional driving license. And that is the clause that was rejected. So because the members said no stories about provisional license, it's an idea that does not yet make a sense, so they are not willing to take it through. That is the old section, clause 19 that is being rejected. But because of the certain others that have been rejected within the bill, including this one, the numbering has then changed. And that is why the new clause 19 that is now members are supposed to be dealing with and adopt is on section 15. Clause 19, which is amending the Principal Act under section 15, and the Principal Act's title under section 15 was reading as follows: disqualification from obtaining or holding learner's or driving license. And under this provision, this is where members also added the new provision, which is subsection 4, and subsection 4 reads as follows, which will be under section 15, new 4 now. For purposes of this section, read with sections 23 and 32 of this Act, driving permit includes all driving permits as defined in section 1 and required in terms of this Act. Now, because there is that inclusion, and because we are now speaking under section 15 for the disqualification 1 of a learner's license, the disqualification 2 of a driving license, and the disqualification 3 on the driving permits. That is why the title must also speak to all 3. And this is where we have said in the title of this section 15, which is amended by clause 19 of the new bill that the members will be passing, if all goes well, that is the title that must also be corrected. And we are saying, unfortunately, we've been trying to get that sorted with CRIDA, but it hasn't been corrected. And because it's the title, the arrangement of section in the last clause is also affected because that title is incorrect and it needs to be corrected in both provisions. And that is about the new clause 19, Chairperson, which seeks to amend the existing section 15 on the disqualifications. Thank you, Chairperson. I'm going to stop there.
Mangeta.
Advocate, don't you want to allay any fears in this regard?
See, I'm just concerned we are jumping to an amendment for section 15, which was done in the bill in clause 21, because we're currently on the A list. So if the legal advisors and the state law advisors are now proposing an amendment to section 15, that should be done under clause 21, Chair, not clause 19, even though I understand with a clause that has been rejected and things moving around. Clause 21 will then become 19 in the B bill. But I just don't want members to get confused when we get to clause 21, which is also going to speak about section 15, Chair. So members will see this is the A list that we're working on. So we're saying 19 and 20 here in the bill as introduced. Members are rejecting because members said we don't want any provisional license conditions, and these two are together. So they will fall away. And then we get to this amendment for the heading of section 15, which is actually in clause 21, Chair. But even though it will become 19 in the B bill, I hope that assists members.
Yeah, it's actually more clearer. Clause 19 and clause 20 have been rejected, right? And so what was your suggestion? We deal with this under clause?
We just, if members are in agreement with those rejections of 19 and 20, then we are on clause 21. And that is then where Pumbalele indicated that the heading will have to change. It was an edit that was still needed to come through from CREDA's side here after the parliamentary legal advisor as well as the state law advisor indicated that heading change yesterday. So we're just waiting for those proofs. So that change is not in here. So Pumbalele, if you can, when we now get to clause 21, just read in the new heading so that we have it there for the record. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, is that in order?
Chair, it is through you. Yeah. What is of concern to me really is that section 15 in particular was of major debate, point of debate during the time we were going through this legislation or proposed amendment. And it so happens to be also involved in CREDA. Just that I've never seen CREDA. I wish I could speak to CREDA. But
I'm raising my hand.
I think but what advocate is saying gives me some comfort, Chair. Yes, if it were not in September and we've got such a tight schedule, my response would have been different. So I'm comfortable that we read that into clause 21 as suggested and take it from there, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Manu, thank you very much for agreeing with that. Are we all in agreement? We'll come to you, Valerie. We have seen the hand. Members?
Yes, we are in agreement, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Valerie?
Chair CREDA, they are online, so they've sent through those proofs through of the B-bill. So if it will assist the legal advisors, I've also sent it to Advocate now. If it would assist to clarify some of the discussions that members just had. So I've sent those that hopefully has the corrections if it was made correctly by the typesetter.
We will do that exactly on 21. Clause 21. We're done with clause 19 and 20 which were rejected. We are now on clause 21. Clause 21 as amended it is set on page 14 from line 5 to 6. Mepumelele.
Thank you, Chairperson. In what Ms. Valerie just sent us, Chairperson, on the B bill on page 14, it has been corrected, and that is exactly what the members need to adopt. If you look at line 10, the title there, it reads disqualification from obtaining or holding learner's license, which is underlined, and it brings in a comma because we are going to be listing 3 things now. So, and the O that is originally in the Principal Act is in square brackets and it's bold. It means the second O is coming out. Then after learner's license, comma, the act is going to read driving license or driving permits. And now all 3 have been corrected for purposes of the adoption of clause 19. The correct version is appearing now in the bill that they have sent through, Chairperson. That correction has been effected. Thank you, Chair.
Members, back to you. Are we in agreement? You want to say something? I hope I'm still audible.
You are very audible. I just had muted myself. I was saying, Chair, we can agree on clause 21 as presented and amended.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, clause 22 is rejected. Let's get an explanation. Mepumelele.
I am going there, Chairperson. Clause 22, the initial one, was a new insertion which sought to bring in section 15A. It was on the surrender of licenses and the reissue. And members raised questions as to what has changed that sort of would bring about this correction and make things better. And so because so there was not a convincing response in light of how different will the surrender process that is in place or there be changed by the current new insertion, and therefore the new insertion of section 15A was rejected by the members on the surrender and reissue of different category of licenses. Thank you, Chair.
So clause 22 stands rejected. And then, thank you. Then we can go to clause 23 as introduced. Members?
Agreed, Chair.
24 as amended. Members?
Yes, Chair, agreed.
25, 26 as introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed, Chair.
27 as amended.
Agreed, Chair.
28 as rejected.
Agreed, Chair.
The new clause of 28 as amended.
Can you just scroll up a bit? Thank you, Chair. Agreed, Chair.
Thank you very much. 29, 30, 31 as introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
32 as amended.
Agreed, Chair.
Yeah.
33, 34 as introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
And 35 as amended.
Am I correct that these 32 and 35, through you, Chair, is following that rejection of a provisional driving license above?
Mephumelele?
Yes, sir, that is correctly so.
Yes. Agreed, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. 36.
Agreed, Chairperson.
Thank you. 36 as amended.
Agreed, Chair.
37 as amended.
Agreed, Chair.
38 as amended.
Yes, Chair. Agreed. Agreed.
39, 40, 40, yeah, 39 and 40 as introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
41 as amended.
Agreed, Chair.
42, 42 up to 45 as introduced.
Agreed, Chair.
46 as rejected.
A refresher, please, Chair.
Mayor Phumelele.
Thank you, Chairperson. Members would recall that original 46 was on the alcohol concentration, blood and breath, which was to be decreased from 0.05 to nil. And members said some of us do take the Holy Communion and it might not be fair when we drive. So it was rejected and the deliberations from the public. Thank you, Chairperson. It's that one which was originally clause 46 to amend section 65 on the concentration of the levels of alcohol in one system. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, members.
Agreed to, Chair.
Chair,
Agreed.
no discussion to reduce it rather than to put it at 0, Mephumelele? If it was rejected, does it mean we agreed to keep it where it is currently? Or did we rather say we can reduce it further?
With your permission. Thank you, Chairperson. The rejection amounts to reverting to the original position of the current act, which means it stays at 0.05 grams per 100 milliliters. If there is such a level in one's blood or breath, then what is in the current act is what is remaining as is.
There were a number of issues when we discussed this, issues like that alcohol content is not actually the actual cause of accidents. And we did mention a number of other things that must be done, like the visibility of police, training of road users. I still recall very well. But yeah, back to the members on clause 46. Are we happy?
Yes, Chair. Colleagues had already agreed. I just was seeking that clarity. So yes, Chair, agreed to.
Thank you very much. Clause 47, Mephumelele, can you quickly refresh?
Clause 47, Chairperson, was amending section 75. Section 75 in respect of the shareholder committee and the consultation that needed to happen between both the minister and the shareholder committee, and the new insertion in respect of the regulations, Chairperson, that would have to be done in consultation with the shareholder committee and how it would be drafted. So the members wanted the retention of the involvement of the shareholder committee, and therefore that's why 75 will not be changed to remove after the decision of the shareholder committee, where they were required that the regulations will be done both after the decision and consultation between the two. So the actual act will remain as is, reading currently under section 75.
Thank you. Members?
Agreed to.
47, agreed. And then 48 as introduced. Clause 48 as introduced.
Agreed to, Chair.
Clause 49 as amended.
Agreed to, Chair.
Clause 50 as amended.
Agreed to, Chair.
51, 52 as introduced.
Agreed to, Chair.
Clause 53 as amended. Members?
Agreed, Chair.
And if I may, Chairperson?
Yes, ma'am.
Clause 53 again is the one on the arrangement of sections. And like I said, when I was explaining clause 2021, that it's in respect of the section 15 of the Principal Act. In page 25 at the end of the B bill, the arrangement of sections, the correction has also been done correctly. And so as members adopt this provision, clause 53, which now is 48, is also been corrected. So members are adopting the correct position. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mayor Pumelele. That has been agreed to. Now we are
just a moment, Chair. I just need to confirm that there are 6 members present in the meeting. It seems like we've lost connection. Can we just give a moment to confirm members?
Honorable Manu, are you here?
Very much awake and alive. You want to see my picture, sir? I still have my tie on, just in case. Yes, it's still me there in front of the house. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. You want to see that this is September month.
Yeah. Chair, it seems we've lost Ms. Ramadwa.
Lawrence McDonald is here.
And Mr. Chabangu.
I'm here, Chair. I'm here. Also in front of the house.
Ketamabala. Mondis. Mondis we've lost. And then, oh, you are here, Mondis. Aha, so that is 4. Honorable Figile. Honorable Figile ukhona, Babmangu ukhona, McDonald ukhona, ngikhona, uketa Mabala ukhona, the honorable, and then Honorable Makosi.
I don't
Yes.
see Mr. Chabangu online. I don't see Mr. Ramadwa online. And Mr. Bilankulu seems to be offline as well. Mr. Mabena, he left, but he indicated already on Tuesday that he needed to leave at around 10:30. So we have to try to get Mr. Bilankulu, Mrs. Ramadwa, and Mr. Chabangu back online.
How many must we be, Valerie?
There are now 5 members. We need at least one of them. I would say it's safer to have 2, just in case they lose connection. I see Mr. Chabangu is getting online. I'm admitting him now. And if maybe the whip can see if Mr. Bilankulu and Mr. Ramadwa can be assisted to get online as well.
Okay. But this means we can proceed in the meantime.
Not yet, Chair. I think Mr. Makusini Chabangu, Chair, can you confirm with Mr. Chabangu if he has successfully connected?
Dade Makosi. Ndade. Akubone overall tse khubedu mo ndate. Ke tla tlaleha taba eo. Oh, ke utlwa overall khubedu. Oh, tsa mnamela. Ha utlwa he.
Wa ba premier kwada.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you. How do you see going that Shapaki people? Hello. Valerie?
Chair, you can.
Yeah, I can proceed and they will, in the meantime, look for Ramadwa.
Yeah, you can proceed now.
Thank you very much for letting us. Let's go back and deal with what we're dealing with. Substitution of long title of Bill of Act of 1993, of 1996.
First clause 54, Chair, the short title as introduced.
Where is that? On the right? Or should the writing is small there when advocate, I don't have glasses. Thank you very much for understanding that. Short title and commencement as introduced, clause 54. Members?
Approved, accepted, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. And then there we are, the substitution of long title of a Bill of Act. I've already read into that.
Yeah, that's approved, Chairperson. That's accepted.
Accepted. And then let's move advocate.
Chair, then it's just for members to note that there were amendments, consequential amendments that had to be made to the memorandum of the bill. So that's just when people do look at the bill to see what the legislators' minds were behind bringing these clauses in. So because we made certain amendments in the bill, there were some amendments in the memorandum. So we've just added it here for members to note that we have also amended the memo, Chair.
Is that agreed to, members?
Agreed to, Chairperson, the amendments to the memorandum.
Thank you, advocate.
Chair, that's the end of the A list.
That's the end of the A list. So as we did the A list must be I must now present the bill as introduced and amended.
That's correct, Chair.
Right. I think members understand now that what we are introducing is the integration of amendments and the bill as introduced as one document. Can we have a mover for that? And
Chairperson Honorable MacDonald moves for the adoption of the amendments.
Any seconder?
Why is Honorable MacDonald in front of a tree, Chair, not in the house? I do second. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. And then we go to the bill version of the bill for adoption, as we did with that. Honorable members, you want to explain? I think members said, okay, let's allow you to explain.
Chair, no, I'm just putting it on the screen. Ms. Pumalelo already indicated those amendments that were made along the way to those headings. So this is just the B-bill. There's our new substituted long heading, and then all the other amendments that members proposed have been brought into the B-bill here. And we can even go to that new clause 19. Members will see there is that amendment with the permit being in there. And that's the amendment of section 15. So what we've done in the A list has gone through to the B-bill, and I think our parliamentary legal advisor and state law advisor have also indicated that those amendments have now been made based on the copies we've received this morning, Chair.
Any mover for the adoption of the B-bill, members?
Yes, Chair, I do move for adoption of the report to the legislation in front of us, Chair.
The B-bill version, yes. Any seconder?
Honorable MacDonald seconds, Chair.
Now we come into what you are talking about, the report. The report, I want to present to you the report as you got it on Tuesday on the bill for adoption. Any mover?
Chair, can you please first?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll read the decision. The Portfolio Committee on Transport, having considered the budget, the subject of the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill, Bill number 7 of 2020, National Assembly, Section 76, referred to it as classified by the JTM as Section 76 bill, reports the bill with amendments. Any mover?
Chairperson, I move that the report be adopted. Honorable MacDonald.
Any seconder?
I do second my colleague, it's Honorable Lisa Mangu.
Thank you very much, Honorable MacDonald and Honorable Lisa Mangu. Any other objection or dissenting view? If there's any, none, it will go on record that this bill did not receive that. This brings us to the end of these two bills. Am I correct, Valerie?
Yes, Chair, the committee has now finalized these bills. The next step now is for us to publish the reports in the ATC, and for members to start preparing for the debates on the bills.
Okay. Have members gone through the minutes? Or we'll do the minutes next week?
Chair,
Yes, Honorable Manu.
I did go through the minutes and I do move that they be adopted as a true reflection of the meeting.
Thank you very much. Any seconder?
Honorable MacDonald seconds, Chairperson. Thank you very much. I did read the.
Thank you very much. Valerie?
Yes, Chair.
Oh, let me first start by thanking honorable members for their understanding and commitment, for showing up on a Friday. I know some of the members will be traveling. Just to indicate that we had said on the 27th, we'll bring in the AXA board, especially the CEO and or the chairperson. We'll want you to write them a letter, Valerie, although I've had an indication from them that they are traveling, they are outside the country. So I said, we'll wait for them to come back because we want to talk to them, not any junior official. So I'm sure that will be as we open, because we are going on recess from the 27th, so that we can address our matters fully with the right authority. Otherwise, I want to thank all the members for their commitment, and thank you, the officials of the Portfolio Committee, for the hard work you have done. I think you're on the right track. Valerie, is your manager Creda?
No.
Chair, the acting manager is Mr. Ludumo Shushuba. He was in the meeting to assist us to explain to members if there was going to be any frustrations.
So she's gone now.
Yeah, he had to leave to attend to other committees' business as well.
Is Creda here?
Chair, no, they don't attend our meetings, but
they were online.
They are a service provider and they have been prioritized the bills, Chair, for us this week when the state law advisors and the parliamentary legal advisors were making the corrections, and they quickly responded to those queries, Chair. But unfortunately, this morning, the internet system was down. If it wasn't down, we would have received probably the information much earlier.
Tell them we appreciate what they have done for the committee. We will appreciate it if we show some improvement in terms of time and the corrections. I think the committee was more understanding today, and I want to appreciate that. But I also want to recognize everybody's hard work put through to the work that the committee has actually finished. With that note, members, I'm sure you deserve a bit of a glass of warm water and honey. Let me liberate you from this meeting and thank the department, that is Kudo, and your members. I was told Mary Ranzu is with us. Is that true? Can we hear her voice?
Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, I am in the meeting.
Thank you, so that you know I recognize you. Can you please
you.
correct your communication? It's not up to where we'd like it to be. So it's causing a bit of problems. Please talk to your colleague, let's correct. But otherwise, thanks to everybody. The meeting is adjourned exactly at 11:01 Long live everybody. Tell Mabena.
Long live the chair, long live.
Tell
Long
Mabena
live the chair.
I did not see him in Parliament. Thank you very much. Long live.
Long live the chair.
Long live Mangete. Long live.
Thank